Here we go. First map, DarKFoRcE versus Tarson, StarCraft World IT King of the Hill, sponsored by CM Storm. And we have another Zerg versus Terran. DarKFoRcE in his fourth match, in his fourth best of 5. He has won against Kaz, he won against Grubby, and he won against Tarson. Now he's facing the Polish player Tarson. And we have DarKFoRcE at the 9 o'clock start position on Metalopolis. He's starting as the blue Zerg, and his opponent is spawning on the close air position at the 6 o'clock start position. We have Tarson, the Polish player. And now we're hopefully we're going to see another 5 matches. I would really love if we would see another 5 matches in this last King of the Hill. It's the 4th King of the Hill of StarCraft World IT, and it's going to be the last one, at least for now. The season, the second season, will start in the near future, and of course the winner of this match will be playing once again. But next week there won't be another King of the Hill. The series will pause, actually. Tarson is just getting his barracks, waiting for the minerals to build his barracks, and let's have a look at what DarKFoRcE is doing right now. He's just sending his overlords towards the close air position. He just scouted his opponent. Of course, Tarson is aware of the fact that the Zerg spawned close air position as well, because DarKFoRcE didn't even try to hide his overlord. And as you can see, we have gas for Tarson. Tarson is getting the first gas and producing more additional SCVs. On a map like Metalopolis, there are various tactics that you can use as a Terran player. Of course, due to the close air positions, you could go for a fast drop with the Hellions. We've seen that quite a lot in the past. And you can also go for Benji. Benji play is not that popular against Zerg. It was really popular some months back, but right now most Terran players don't really want to waste that tech and all those resources in order to get Benjis out that early and get Cloak as well. They rather try to get Hellions, Blue Flame Hellions at some point, and then drop them into the enemy space and try to surprise him by that. DarKFoRcE is going for the 15 hatch, so he has a fast expansion once again, and we see gas and the spawning pool as well. Just now harvesting gas from his extractor in order to get the 100th gas to get his speed up. And DarKFoRcE is being scouted by Tarson. Tarson with 1 SCB is just making a little trip into the main base of the Zerg player, and the first Marine is on its way as well. Let's have a look at the wall in of Tarson. A factory is being built, so that's basically exactly what we've been expecting. Blue Flame Hellions, or at least Hellions, are coming up. I'm not too sure about the Blue Flame. There's no second gas for the Terran player so far, but we are probably going to see his reactor fairly soon. Here it comes, and the factory is going to be produced as well. So the Marine is just trying to run away from all those drones. The second one is going to join him soon, but DarKFoRcE was able to stale the Terran for quite a while and is now retreating to his into his expansion and main base, while the Zerglings are popping out and will now be able to kill not only the SCV but the Marines if they stay too long. 2 Queens are being produced as well. They of course give it decent protection against early air units. As long as the Benjis on a Cloak, the Queens are fairly good against them, especially if they have enough energy to get to heal each other. Right now Tarson is going for the starport. It's the 1-1-1 build, and we might see that Hellion drop that we've been talking about. Second gas is already up for the Terran player, and in the meantime he's producing the first two Hellions. The Zerglings are just getting into position. DarKFoRcE already has control over the 2 Xilnaga watchtowers in the middle of the map, and we've seen him on 31 supply, while he's just trying to get the creep tumors up, spread his creep a little bit further. And in the main base there's 1 gas. The drones, after being full of gas, are now back at harvesting at the extractor, and DarKFoRcE not missing a single injection round. It's just getting a little bit of gas in order to get his lair tech going, is producing Zerglings and drones droning up, while the Terran player is now just getting a Benji after all. So Hellions into Benji for Tarson, and he will try to deal as much damage with the Hellions as he possibly can. The thing about him is that with the speed, they are really vulnerable to Lings nonetheless, especially if they don't have the Blue Flame upgrade. Lings are faster than Hellions, and as soon as you can, well, as long as you can surround the Hellions, you are fairly safe with the Zerg player against them. And Tarson is actually getting that cloaking field. I really didn't expect that, because I'm not too sure if that's the right choice. Cloak is really expensive, and I think he's a little bit late with that. Let's have a look into the main base of the Zerg player. He has one Overlord in position, just checking out what's happening, but there are 2 Marines preventing the scout of the Overlord, and the evolution chamber is being built by DarKFoRcE. Of course, he knows about all the timings. As do Protoss players and Terran players, they know about the crucial timings in the game, and DarKFoRcE knows exactly when those cloaked Banshees will pop out, and therefore he goes for his evolution chamber just in time, and the Hellions are already on their way. Cloak is not done yet. There's one spine crawler in position. Is DarKFoRcE going? Yes, he's trying to block the ramp with one of the queens. Both queens at the bottom. And here come all those Zerglings, but not trying to surround the Hellions. There are just too many right now. But the spine crawler is in position, and of course DarKFoRcE wants to catch the Terran out of position, maybe surround him in reach of the spine crawler. And the Banshee is not yet on its way to the main base of his opponent, but 2 command centers being built for Tarson. We have 59 supply against 48, and still the Terran player is just trying to do some damage, snipe that queen, and he'll actually succeed. The queen is dead. Here come all those Zerglings. In the meantime, the Banshees arrive in the main base of the DarKFoRcE, and the Zerg plays immediately trying to set up some spine crawlers. As you could see, the Zerglings surrounded the Hellions. All the Hellions are dead, which is quite a bummer because there were plenty of them, and Tarson lost a lot, but he's able to kill a lot of drones as well. And I have no idea which player just lagged, but I hope it doesn't influence the gameplay. I hope that the lag won't occur anymore. The queen will probably fall victim to the Banshees as well. Yes, and the Banshee actually survived, but no! Another queen pops out of the expansion and kills the Banshee, but another one with 10 kills is still around, and Tarson was able to deal a lot of damage to his opponent, and DarKFoRcE taking a huge blow to his economy. He's on still on 38 to 40 workers right now. He was producing drones the whole time. 32 for his opponent, 12 to 12 army supply. And let's have a look at how many drones Tarson was actually able to kill. He killed 13 drones, and in addition, he was also able to pick off 2 queens. So that's not too bad, not bad at all. One Banshee survived, and the cloaked Banshees really paid off, but he lost a lot of Hellions and therefore a lot of minerals. He has a decent saturation, very good saturation at his main base though, and he built 2 command centers, as you might remember. Here's the first one, just flying over to this expansion spot, and where's the second one? Right over here. He's using the mule right now, and of course using it as well to produce additional SCVs as fast as possible, trying to keep up with the production capabilities of the Zerg player. And the Zerg is going for the Baneling Nest. The German player is going for the Baneling Nest. Mutalisks are already on their way. The Spire is up, +1 attack being researched as well. Tarson with a siege tank. The first siege tank is out, another one is being produced, and just about now the siege tank upgrade finishes. And here come additional mules boosting the economy of the Terran player, and we have the lair tech of DarKFoRcE. Another round of lava will spawn fairly soon. DarKFoRcE really has his mechanics down. He's awesome at that. He's really good. He never misses a round of enchanted lava. And as you can see, an Overlord is going to fall victim to the Viking. The Viking already on 2 kills, and DarKFoRcE is actually supply blocked right now, but getting more Overlords, and that won't be a problem anytime soon. And the Terran player is in a little bit of trouble. I'm not too sure if he really scouted that expansion. No, he didn't. So he doesn't know about the 3rd base attempt of his opponent, and might want to try to get a scout over there anytime soon in order to maybe pick it off, because he should be ahead in army supply. Yes, he is 41 against 28. The 3rd base of Tarson only serves as a production facility for mules. That's about it, and he's on a fairly good income. He's on 1,500, sometimes 1,700 minerals, and there's a lot of gas as well. There's siege tanks, we have marines with a +1 attack upgrade, probably pretty soon, as it's about to finish, and the combat shield is being researched as well. Let's have a look at the unit composition of DarKFoRcE right now. He has 5 Mutalisks on the field and a lot of Zerglings as well, so he's going for Mutalisks, he's going for Banelings. Baneling speed being researched right now, and the Mutalisks will try to kill as many units minutes as possible, but the missile turrets are already in place, so there's no harassment going on whatsoever. Tarson with a really safe build. I like it quite a lot. Terran player is doing an awesome job at that, but he needs to be careful. He's walking over towards the expansion, towards his third expansion, just killing off that Zergling, and the additional command center is already on its way. Let's have another look at the supply count as Tarson is about to move out. He's on 62 army supply against a 33, and DarKFoRcE needs to reinforce his army. The Zergling speed is done. The Baling speed is nearly done. +1 attack upgrade for the Flyers. We have the +1 attack upgrade for the Zerglings and the Balings already. The second one on its way, and another base for the Terran player. And here comes Tarson. Tarson is on the creep right now, scanning left and right, just trying to kill all those tumors, but still he might be in trouble if DarKFoRcE is able to catch him out of position. Doing a good job so far though, and just getting that spine crawler, trying to kill that spine crawler, and it's down. The spine crawler is down. The Marines are being picked off by the Mutalisks though. And here comes Tarson once again, reinforcing his army while he's attacking, and he needs to be careful. And here come all those siege tanks. The Zerglings are actually attacking all the siege tanks, but the Balings are being killed. Very good job by Tarson, splitting his Marines, retreating with the Marines, and the siege tanks were focusing the Balings. He was able to deal a lot of damage to the Balings, killing all of them, and now the Marines and the tanks are in a beautiful position against the Zerg player. Needs to take down all those Mutalisks, and there comes the GG. DarKFoRcE once again loses the first map, and Tarson is in the lead in this best of 5 of StarCraft World IT, sponsored by CM Storm. Game number 2, DarKFoRcE against Tarson, StarCraft World IT, King of the Hill, sponsored by CM Storm. And I was mistaken when I mentioned that the next week we won't see another King of the Hill match, as there will be a pause between the seasons. I was just informed by the admin that they actually decided to continue with the King of the Hill. So next week, next Thursday at 9:30, there will be another King of the Hill. The winner of this best of 5 will face his next opponent in Tarson. Tarson is leading against DarKFoRcE with 1-0. We have Shakura's Plateau, DarKFoRcE at the top left, and his opponent at the bottom right. We see Tarson in yellow this time, and he just mentioned that he had a little bit of delay because of his porn downloads. I suppose that he wasn't really honest about that and that it was just a joke, but having met him on Cbit, I can't be sure. He's a really funny guy. A little bit weird, but really funny. He was going for bratwurst the whole time. He was basically eating bratwurst all day. He really loved it. But now he has to face a German player, and he has to face DarKFoRcE, Mr. Comeback, who was able to defeat Cass after losing the first 2 games, who was able to defeat Grubby after losing the first 2 games, and who was able to defeat Sasa after being behind with 2-1. Getting his refinery right now while the barracks is in production, so really standard build by the Terran player from Poland. We have DarKFoRcE, the German Zerg player, with its hatch first, and in his main base he's waiting for the minerals to get his spawning pool as well, while Tarson of course has on this map a really good position of getting a fast expansion as well. You can block that choke fairly easy, and what is Tarson actually doing? He lifted his barracks just to land it again and produce a Marine. So apparently the barracks was a little bit bored, wanted to fly away a little bit. No, here we come. Tech lab is in place, and the supply depot closes the wall, and we see a tech lab on the barracks. This might be an early Reaper, get some scouting, and we have 1 SCV. I don't think that the SCV will really try to build a bunker. It actually might, but the Reaper's in production already, and if he finds a good spot to build that bunker, but no. DarKFoRcE is not somebody to be fooled by a play like this, so... but DarKFoRcE is probably going to lose his drone. No, he isn't. And the SCV is already damaged, so it's just retreating. But basically, we have the first links being built, we have the 2 queens being built as well. Tarson obviously was thinking about getting a bunker, but after the SCV got damaged by the drone, he decided to just retreat, and the Reaper is already on its way. We'll try to pick off the Zerglings, try to pick off some some drones as well, and DarKFoRcE is getting additional drones and Zerglings, while the Terran player is now building a factory and a command center, trying to get this early expansion. It's pretty easy to defend on Shakira's Plateau. Getting your third base is a little bit more difficult, but more for the Zerg player than for the Terran player, actually, because you can't just rely on your planetary fortresses. And if you decide to play with tanks, you can get a third at this position fairly easy. Just put tanks on the top of the cliff, have the Marines at the bottom, and get a planetary fortress if you want to play it really safe. And Tarson able to deal, well, not a lot of economical damage to his opponent, but he is able to stress him out a bit. That Reaper is fairly annoying and might kill a drone as well. Yeah, the drone is down, killing another Zergling. Oh, trying to retreat. And as soon as the Reaper has to jump down at the cliff, the DarKFoRcE will be safe against any future harassment, because all those overlords are in a beautiful position. DarKFoRcE knows what's happening, knows all the surroundings of his base. He will know when the Reaper is going to attack again. And DarKFoRcE already has an overlord in place at the natural of his opponent as well. DarKFoRcE really knows how to position overlords. He's very, very good at that, and he always takes care of his scouting. He always tries to scout as good as possible, but has a problem of dealing with this Reaper. It already has 5 kills. I think it got 6 kills, and for one Reaper, this is a lot of damage that it actually dealt. In the meantime, we have Tarson already with 1 siege tank in position. The siege upgrade will be done in a few seconds, and his opponent, the German Zerg player, actually tacking to the lair right now, getting the evolution chamber in case there are additional Hellions, but there won't be any, as Tarson is focusing totally on those siege tanks, getting a third command center as well. The second base is now just hovering towards the natural expansion. We have additional barracks being built as well. He's on 2 gas, obviously. Let's have a look at the supply counts. We have 45 workers for the Zerg player and 31 for Tarson. Army supply is about even. There's nothing special going on, and DarKFoRcE, with his overlord in position, knows that the Terran player placed his expansion at the natural. And yeah, once again, DarKFoRcE with a beautiful scouting. He knows exactly what he's up against, and we have him with a Roach Warren in production. We see DarKFoRcE on a lot of gas already. He has 4 extractors by now, and getting Bailingness as well, the +1 attack upgrade for his Zerglings. Getting the 2 Xel'Naga watchtowers, which is really, really important. As you can see, he knows about everything that's going on the map with it. When you control the 2 Xel'Naga watchtowers, you control the whole middle of the map, and you know when your opponent is pushing out, which is really important, especially for a Zerg player that's focusing on his economy, because he needs to know when to start building units. DarKFoRcE now with the Spire. He finished his lair attack and is getting a Spire, just getting some creep tumors as well, spreading his creep over the map. Shakira's Plateau is a fairly decent map if you play against the Terran and you are able to catch him somewhere in the middle of the map. There's a lot of space where you can just try to flank the Terran player, get those Bailings into position against the Marines, which is the most important thing if you are facing a Marine tank combination. And the Spire is about to be done. And let's have another look. The Overlord is just hovering over the main base. DarKFoRcE is suiciding him. And he sees all those barracks, sees the factory as well. He knows what's coming. Marine tank once again. Bailing speed is being researched immediately. The +1 attack upgrade is nearly done for the Zerg player. And we have him on 74 supply against 73. That additional queen, the queen number 3, is taking care of the creep spread. Doing an awesome job at that. In the meantime, we have in the main base the next upgrade about to finish. We see the evolution chamber with a +1 done. And the Spire is ready as well. The first 7 Mutalisks will pop out, try to harass the Terran as much as he possibly can, and Tarson should start to build missile turrets about now, because he knows he also has his timings down. Here comes the first missile turret. He knows that with the play that the Zerg player used with the first with the expansion, first Mutalisk will pop out at roughly 10 to 11 minutes, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's producing the missile turrets at exactly the right time, so the Mutalisk shouldn't be able to kill too many units. You will wait to see if the DarKFoRcE is really going for the Mutal play and then add additional missile turrets while the Zerg player is getting his hatchery whilst attacking. Here's one Marine being picked off, some early detection for DarKFoRcE, and immediately the Terran player is starting additional missile turrets. Yeah, the Mutalisk won't be able to do too much damage, but one of the main reasons that you build Mutalisk when you are facing Terran players, you want to try to pin him down to his main base, and you want to try to avoid drops. It's quite difficult as a Zerg player to deal with the drop play of a good Terran player if you don't have Mutalisk, because you basically don't have anything to counter those medivacs, and if he has a good micro and an awesome drop play, then you're in for quite a lot of trouble. So Mutalisks are a very, very good thing to get in a Terran versus Zerg. And DarKFoRcE is getting a 5th base. He's getting a 4th base. He already is on 2 bases. He built that 3rd and is now building a 4th as well. We have another engineering bay for the Terran player on its way, so he wants to go for double upgrades, getting an armory in order to get access to the +2 armor and attack upgrade. More Marines are being produced, medivacs as well, and we have another queen for DarKFoRcE. And DarKFoRcE trying to prevent that 3rd base, but here come the Marines and the tanks. He won't be able to pick up that orbital command, but now he might try to kill the missile turret, and get some shots off at the SCVs of his opponent, damaging his economy. We have him on 73 worker supply, 55 army supply, and 73 army supply for Tarson. So Tarson might push out, pretty soon. He already has a decent amount of Marines and tanks. He's getting the +1 armor upgrade. And here comes DarKFoRcE morphing all those Banelings. I actually like the position of DarKFoRcE right now in Tarson with a very good timing to push out, killing those creep tumors once again. But DarKFoRcE has an awesome army. He's on 71 army supply against 76. And if he's able to kill the Marines, this should be game. He has a lot of Mutalisks. The Mutalisks are just trying to get into position against the tank, snipe off the occasional tank. But now here comes Tarson killing the Overlords. No Overlords retreating. And here comes the Zerg player. The Swarm is attacking. And the Banelings being clustered in front of the tanks. The Marines in a very good position. Retreating. But the tanks being killed by the Mutalisks. Very good job by DarKFoRcE, killing everything. The Mutalisks are on the run. The whole fight is basically taking place without them. They aren't able to deal any damage, and now there's not enough anti-air for Tarson to defend his tanks. All those Mutalisks are just attacking, and now he could just fly in there. He could try to pick off the orbital command, maybe kill some SCVs, and he's doing exactly that. Moving in now for the kill, damaging the economy of his opponent, killing the SCVs, killing a lot of them, but there's a drop in the main base of DarKFoRcE, and Tarson's drop being repelled by the Zerglings, but he's able to do a lot of damage as well. Let's have another look at the workers killed. DarKFoRcE killed about 10. Tarson was able to kill at least 4, and there's some additional medivacs that did survive the fight, some veterans of the last battle, but Tarson in a horrible position right now. His 3rd base got delayed. He actually needed to lift it off and fly it back into his main base. He doesn't have a 3rd so far, and this is quite a bummer. He didn't build any additional missile turrets around his orbital command, which is a huge mistake in my opinion, and well, I am not too sure if he will be able to recover. Because right now, DarKFoRcE is on 4 bases. He has 84 worker supply against 56. He's on 72 army supply against 62. He's getting more Mutalisks. He's getting his creep spread back up. I like that a lot, because a lot of Zerg players, they tend to forget about spreading their creep when the fight is over. When the first fight is over and the Terran player was able to kill the active creep tumors, a lot of Zerg players forget about replacing them and trying to spread that creep again. Not so DarKFoRcE. The German Zerg player is doing an awesome job at spreading his creep. He knows how important it is in the fight. But look at that number of Mutalisks and just picking off the missile turrets, basically one-hitting them. The supply depots are being killed as well. The Terran player is supply blocked, and I don't think that Tarson does stand a chance against this Zerg player right now. He lost the first encounter, and he lost everything, while DarKFoRcE was able to keep all his Mutalisks alive, and they are now harassing the Terran player left and right. The third base for Tarson is up, but DarKFoRcE will get another base soon, and Tarson is now trying to get additional upgrades. He has 1 armor upgrade, 2 attack upgrades, but DarKFoRcE on the other hand is doing exactly the same. He's getting the +2 attack upgrade for his flies, he's getting the armor upgrade for his ground units, and the next base is being built. Now, I'm actually not to know, he's going for a macro hatch. He's building a macro hatch, the infestation pit is now in production, and we will see some infestors and attack to the hive to get their adrenal glands, while the Terran player is getting the +3 attack upgrade right now, and DarKFoRcE once again moving in with a Mutalisk, 28 of them, just sniping all those missile turrets, and Tarson has to retreat with his SCVs, and is probably... Actually, there are too many. There are too many Marines. I was thinking about if DarKFoRcE would be able to pick up the Marines, but there are too many. They are on 2 upgrades already, and we have the Medivacs in position as well, so there's no way that those Mutalisks will survive against the Marines when they are stimmed and being healed by the Medivacs as well. And here comes Tarson with another drop play, is just walking up there, just trying to get those Mutalisks, maybe cut them off, and here they are once again, trying to annoy the shit out of the Terran player. And a Nidus Worm, a Nidus network is being placed. They have a the Hive Tech and Pathon glands for the infestors. And as you can see, DarKFoRcE is able to pin down his opponent, his main base. Tarson has to leave all his units at his expansion in his main base, at his third base, in order to defend against the play of the Zerg player. And this is quite annoying for him, and very, very good for DarKFoRcE, who's now researching the second armor upgrade. And we have the first Thor out, or the first 2 Thors out as well, so they might be able to deal with the Mutalisks. Tarson focusing a little bit more on his mech units now. Neural Parasite being researched. We have the Hive Tech as well, about to finish. 52 additional Zerglings are being produced, and now DarKFoRcE is on 200 supply, as is Tarson. Tarson with a fearful army, and if he's able to take out the Zerg player right now and kill 1 or 2 bases, he might get a comeback into the game, but we have DarKFoRcE on 2,000 overmints and 1,000 overgas, and here's the Zerg player just producing a lot of spine crawlers, trying to delay that push of the Terran player. Tarson stimming, being healed by the Medivacs, and here come the Marines trying to take out that base of the Zerg player. Oh no, please don't attack at that position. This is horrible. 5 infestors are being built, though a lot of the Mutalisks are already down. DarKFoRcE trying to get those infestors into play. The Neural Parasite upgrade is done soon. Some of the Banelings take out the small force of the Marines. And DarKFoRcE is basically just trying to delay the Terran player. He's trying to delay the Terran player to get those infestors for the fungal growth, and of course for the... here comes the first fungal, and of course for the Neural Parasite as well, as he wants to take out those Thors fairly soon. And we have a Nidus network at the second base, and the Lings are streaming into the base of the Terran player, and now DarKFoRcE needs to, he's defending against the drop very well as well. There are spine crawlers in position, so DarKFoRcE with a very, very nice play against the Terran player. He's attacking with the Nidus network, is repelling that drop beautifully, and Tarson is just in so much trouble right now. All those Zerglings are destroying his expansion, he's destroying his economy, will stream into the main base. He has to take out DarKFoRcE right now with this attack, or he will lose the game. He's on 182 supply, actually has more supply than his opponent, because DarKFoRcE is on 170. We have 92 army supply for the Zerg player, and 126 for Tarson, the Polish player. But here come the Neural Parasites, and Tarson is being attacked. All those Banelings are running into the tanks, though. What was he thinking? What the hell is DarKFoRcE doing? I mean, what was that? He lost all the Banelings into the tanks. The main base of Tarson is basically gone. But I can't believe my DarKFoRcE is losing the second game to Tarson as well, after being in a beautiful position, having a huge lead. He's losing to Tarson's army. DarKFoRcE losing the second game as well, and is once again behind with 2-0 in the King of the Hill match of StarCraft World IT, powered by CM Storm. Unbelievable. Guys, DarKFoRcE, losing the first 2 games once again. I mean, now he's in a really comfortable position in this King of the Hill. He's with his back to the wall. That's how he likes it, because now he can attack Tarson with all he has. That's the same position he was in against Cass and against Grubby. It worked out quite well for him, but I don't like it at all. I want to see 5 maps once again, and Tarson has proven to be a strong opponent. Even though in Shakura's Plateau, I still think that DarKFoRcE made a mistake by pushing all those banelings into the tanks and not waiting for them to attack the Marines. He didn't take out any Marines at all, and therefore he lost the match. DarKFoRcE now on crevasse at the bottom right, and his opponent is at the bottom left. The Zerg player on this map can take an easy second base. He might want to try to get that base outside his immediate main base, the potential 3rd base over there. And we have Tarson already with the first supply depot. He's starting at the bottom left as the yellow player again. And this is quite weird. DarKFoRcE, it would be quite funny if he lost on purpose just to be in the same position once again, but of course he didn't, because this is still a King of the Hill. Every map counts, and as a player you want to win those 100 euros provided by StarCraft World IT and CM Storm. So thanks again to those guys for this awesome series. And players talking about the maps, I've been talking to a lot of pro players, and for some of them, some don't mind the new maps, but there are so many versions of each map, some with rocks in particular positions, some with small rams, big rams. We have them with 1 gas expansions, 2 gas expansions, with expansions with 8 mineral patches, 5 mineral patches. Sometimes it's really annoying, and the players are not quite sure about which map version they are playing. So that happens quite often, that people are actually talking at the start of the game about which map version that is, if there's a rich gas or a normal gas, or how many patches are at which expansion. DarKFoRcE is going for the same build he used in the last matches. He's going for that first hatchery first, and he is putting it down at the small expansion inside his main base. 6 mineral patches and 1 Wispine Geyser being present. And the Terran player is scouting what's happening, obviously. He's a little bit lucky with the scouting pattern. He scouted to the right and was able to spot DarKFoRcE on the first position that his SCV went to. DarKFoRcE, on the other hand, sent an overload over to the top right position. The second overload is on its way to the bottom left and will have a good position against the Terran player. And this is going to be really, really intense. Let's have a look. We have 250 APM average for Tarson, the Polish Terran player, and 150 for DarKFoRcE. And DarKFoRcE is getting the queens. He's getting speed, Zerglings once again. And let's have a look. Reactor being placed at the barracks. A factory being built as well. So once again, we will see Hellions. And we still have 1 Wispine Geyser. On the first map, Metropolis, Tarson tried to get Cloak Banshees. They did a lot of damage. DarKFoRcE had a problem with his drones. They were blocking his attempt to get a Spore Crawler. But on a map like this, where the distances between two bases are a little bit longer, Tarson is apparently not relying on the Cloak Banshees once again on Metropolis close air position. This was quite a different story. And as you can see, the Terran player getting his expansion as well. In the meantime, we have speed halfway done for DarKFoRcE. He's getting additional drones. We have 29 workers for the Zerg player, 22 for his opponent. And the first 2 Hellions are being joined by another set. No, they are not. 2 Hellions are out on the map, and the factory is going to fly to another spot as the barracks is in need of that reactor. The speed is about to be done, and we have... how many Zerglings do we actually have? We have 7 right now. That should be enough to repel those 2 Hellions. And the Queen is there as well. The creep spread is decent. There's 1 active creep tumor just trying to spread the creep a little bit farther outside the main base, which is fine for now. And DarKFoRcE getting that evolution chamber and tagging at the same time to his lair. Another inject coming, and we have 1 Marine This is basically a staring contest. Who blinks first is losing, and right now the Overlord is definitely winning. And in the meantime, we have in the main base of Tarson more Marines, Stim as well, the factory with the tech lab, with a reactor, the factory with another reactor. This looks like a push with Stim and Hellions. Is he actually trying to do that? Ah, okay, here we go. He's swapping between the barracks and the factory. That would have really confused me if he would have tried to get a push with Stim and Hellions at this point of time. This would have been really confusing. But here we have the barracks with the two barracks with the reactor, one with the tech lab, Stim being researched, Marines and Hellions in position. And the expansion is up and running. Refinery number 3 is coming up. And DarKFoRcE with a +1 attack upgrade. Lab tech has been finished. He needs to get that third base. Is getting the +1 attack upgrade for his Zerglings. And besides that, he's not really doing anything at all. Here come the lava. He's getting additional creep tumors. Let's have a look over to the side of the map where Tarson spawned, and he has mules out on the field. He's going for Stim. He's getting medivacs. Has additional SCVs in production. He's on a 23 army supply against 16, 46 worker supply against 33. Here comes the drop, 8 Marines. Tarson wants to drop them at the expansion of his opponent. There's one Spore Crawl in position. Spire being built, the third base as well. And here comes the drop. The Overlord of DarKFoRcE knows about it. We have the Spore Crawler attacking the medivac immediately. All those Zerglings retreating towards the expansion and now towards the bottom. So, yeah, very well defended by DarKFoRcE so far. There's no need to attack the Marines right there. They are in a very good position behind those mineral patches. And he's clings to the Naga Watchtower, and now he's able to attack the Marines from all sides. The medivacs being used to save them once again, and DarKFoRcE shouldn't attack at this position. He knows about that, of course, and therefore he doesn't attack. Trying to get the Queen, and the Queen is being killed. The Queen is being killed. No Marines die. Tarson lifts off all the Marines with a medivac once again and retreats to safety. He's on 2 bases still, but has combat shield on its way. The first Viking, and that Viking will try to snipe the Overlords. The staring contest is still going on. Oh no, actually it isn't. The Marine turned away. The Marine turned away because he was afraid of the Overlord. I can't blame him. I really can't blame him. But the Viking is taking over, and now the Overlord is in deep shit and has to retreat. Will die, while DarKFoRcE is getting more and more tumors. He's getting additional gas at his new base, and after the Spire has been finished, he's going for Mutalisks, and here's the expansion of DarKFoRcE. Let's have another look at the counts. Oh, awesome! He's scared. This is going to be brutal. The first drop is down. The medivac is down. There was one drop with 2 medivacs, and that one Viking trying to conceal it, but there was just no way. DarKFoRcE now with a beautiful creep throw was able to take out that medivac with 8 Marines. This is really nice for the Zerg play. He's on 110 supply against 90, and we have bailing speed done. The Mutalisks are attacking, and as you can see, the creep spread is really beautiful. We are 11 minutes into the game, and he already has possession, or basically has a fourth of the map covered in creep, and is producing additional Zerglings, getting upgrades as well. This doesn't look bad at all for DarKFoRcE. There's still no third base for his opponent. There's a command center, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have access to his third base just yet, and DarKFoRcE might want to try to prevent that. He's on 48 army supply against 58, but he could get more units anytime, as he is on 1,000 minerals and 300 gas, and it's just spreading the creep towards the expansion spot of his opponent. So this might be quite interesting. Let's see, we have 35 Marines, 4 tanks. That's not too many, that's alright. And 50 Zerglings and 12 Mutalisks. And here come the Mutalisks, just scouting the whole thing. Bailings being morphed. We have additional Queens, Spine Crawlers, another base. And now the Mutalisks are trying to attack the expansion, but there are too many missile turrets, as you can see. But DarKFoRcE reinforcing his army. He's on 64 army supply right now against 69. And is he going to attack that third base? Is he going to attack those Marines, those siege tanks? There are 6 by now. And here come the Mutalisks trying to get an angle on the Terran player on that expansion. And DarKFoRcE with additional units. And is on 150 supply against 130. We have the Terran player Tarson in a really defensive position, while DarKFoRcE is just getting additional queens, bases, drones, has a really good economy. His Zerglings will have the +2 attack upgrade in a second, and there are more Banelings being morphed, 19 additional ones. That's 44 Banelings. 44 Banelings, the Mutalisks as well. He's getting drones now. 165 supply against 145. Tarson with that third base, getting the refinery. 98 army supply against 86, and now Tarson moving forward, trying to kill those creep tumors. And here comes the Zerg player, attacking with everything he has. The Banelings, killing all the Marines, the tanks as well, just streaming in. There are hundreds of Banelings, there must be thousands of them, and everything is dead. Everything Tarson's owned is now just dead meat. The expansion is about to die. He dropped below 100 supply in an instant. Is on 55 now and has to GG. A beautiful attack by DarKFoRcE, and he's winning his first map in this best of 5. Will Mr. Comeback be able to do it again? Will he be able to defeat Tarson, or is the Terran player going to win the next map and defeat DarKFoRcE after the Zerg player from Germany won 3 King of the Hills in a row? Woohoo! DarKFoRcE against Tarson. Game number 4. Apparently everything's fine for Tarson. The players have been chatting a while. Tarson is really a likable guy, and DarKFoRcE knows him. He met him on Seabit, to my knowledge, and we have the Zerg player from Germany on the left side of the map, starting at the 9 o'clock start position. DarKFoRcE immediately scouting with his Overlord towards the close air position, while his opponent spawning on 3 o'clock in yellow once again will start off with this, probably the same build he used in last matches, just a standard build with the supply depot, the barracks, and of course the refinery. We've seen a lot of different builds, especially against Zerg lately, with the gas first, so you can get the blue flame Hellions. Tarson so far didn't get blue flame Hellions at all. Probably wouldn't be a bad thing against DarKFoRcE, as he's relying on Zerglings quite a lot. But he was successful in the first 2 maps, in the first 2 matches, with his tank marine composition, which is really, really strong, of course. And Tarson now waiting for enough minerals to place down his barracks, while DarKFoRcE is starting with a hatch first once again. This is the 4th game of the 4th King of the Hill, powered by StarCraftWorld.it and CM Storm. And DarKFoRcE was able to win 3 King of the Hill so far. Tarson, being his 4th opponent, is in the lead, but that's how DarKFoRcE likes it. Hell yeah. And here we go. Hatchery thrown down by the Zerg player. The DarKFoRcE is back in action. We have 1 Overlord getting into position, and the drone sneaking into the main base of the Terran player, and there's no gas just yet. Let's have a look. There is the barracks is already done, and there is no gas so far, which is a little bit weird. Tarson getting he's probably going for an expansion fairly soon. Is getting a no gas expansion and additional barracks as well. So he uses a different build order this time. There's the first Marine just walking towards his opponent. We have 1 SCV just scouting, and the hatchery is in position, but with only 1 barracks, he can't be hoping for putting a lot of pressure onto the Zerg player. That simply won't happen. We have the spawning pool about to be ready, the extractor as well, and another Marine is coming to join the first one, and here comes the expansion attempt by the Terran player. Here comes the command center, and there will be 1 or 2 additional barracks before, basically at the same time that he gets gas. He needs to get as many Marines as possible. And the drones are being microed very, very well by DarKFoRcE. He loses only 1 drone. That's about it. The second one is retreating as well, and the Zerglings should be out soon. There they are. immediately attacking the Marines, and DarKFoRcE is probably going to be able to hunt down another Marine before he has to retreat with the Zerglings. The Overlord, pretty slow, but still, he's a little bit like an air snail, and he's just getting into position towards at the expansion of his opponent. And here is the command center of Tarson. We have the barracks with additional Marines being produced, and double gas, and so far no additional barracks. This is unusual. Usually, if you go for that build, you try to get the gas as a little bit later and get the barracks first. But Tarson isn't doing that at all. He's going for the double refinery. He's getting gas very, very fast after he started his command center, and is now getting another factory, getting 2 factories, but with the Terran player with a small blunder losing additional Marines. This is quite annoying for Tarson right now. He lost a lot of Marines to those Zerglings. I really wouldn't have expected him to lose that many to that initial push of DarKFoRcE, because basically DarKFoRcE just didn't really put all too much pressure onto the Terran player. He just took what Tarson gave him, and that was quite a lot of Marines that didn't go behind the wall. And I think that Tarson screwed up just a little bit with his waypoint, with his rally point of the barracks, and that's why all those units died. But let's have another look at what the Zergling was able to spot. He spotted the expansion, but he doesn't know about those Hellions, and we will see Blue Flame Hellions in this game. Blue Flame Hellions coming up, and this Overlord is not moving towards the main base. He's hovering at the expansion, and there will be Blue Flame Hellions out soon, and DarKFoRcE might be caught by surprise and suffer a huge blow to his economy. We'll see about that very, very soon. DarKFoRcE right now is attacking the destructible rocks to get access to his 3rd base, and he's spreading his creep with the creep terminal. We have him placing 1 spine crawler, and that might actually save his hairy ass. We have Tarson without a starport, so there won't be a drop. It won't be a drop. He has to access the main base of his opponent, and the spine crawler will be in position as far. If DarKFoRcE manages to spread his creep even further across the map, he will know about the Hellions soon enough to try to block them off at the creep terminal. But how many Hellions does Tarson actually use? He's getting additional 2. He has 6 Blue Flame Hellions, and DarKFoRcE has 15 Zerglings. Oh my god. Now he knows about it. We have the Baneling Nest. Blue Flame will be done right now, and the Queens are in position. Blue Flame, and he's not running past them. He doesn't want to get caught by the Hellions. 18 additional Zerglings are being built. And Tarson, well, he doesn't know about it. He has no idea how many units there actually are. So it's quite understandable that he doesn't want to overcommit to this attack. But would he have driven past that spine crawler, I think he would have been able to kill a lot of Zerglings and probably drones as well. But right now, DarKFoRcE has enough units, is trying to surround the Hellions, and is able to do exactly that, as Tarson is not paying attention to the Hellions. Very well done. And now all those Marines will be killed as well. Awesome, awesome play by DarKFoRcE. This is amazing. He is picking the exactly that moment when Tarson isn't paying attention to his Hellions, is surrounding them. Did he see that split of Zerglings before he moved in? This was beautifully done, and now he's trying to get to the SCV line. We have him on 66 supply. He's getting his 3rd base. His spire is being built. The speed for the Banelings. And oh my god, I just love that. I just really, really love that play. He got a little bit lucky there, don't get me wrong, but still, this was so well done. Just 1 second when Tarson didn't pay attention. He moved in with a beautiful spread, surrounded the Hellions, killed all of them without losing too many Zerglings. And the Marines that were trying to assist the Hellions were caught out of position as well. Didn't stand a chance against that many Zerglings, which is annihilated. And now DarKFoRcE has a lead in this game. Let's have a look. 57 worker supply against 52, 27 against 34 army supply. But DarKFoRcE is able to get all the techs he wants. He has his Spire up, the first Mutalisks are on their way. We have the upgrade for the Overlords for the speed, the +2 attack upgrade for the Zerglings, +1 for the air units. And this is just awesome for DarKFoRcE right now. I mean, he hasn't won the game just yet. Actually, Tarson might very well win that game after all, but Tarson lost a lot more. Lost twice the amount of resource that his opponent did. Only 600 though. 600 more though, but he's losing the Viking as well. And this game just isn't going as planned for Tarson. And the Overlord's getting into position, and this is just so good. He wants to know when a drop is leaving the main base of Tarson, and the Mutalisks are now trying to get some trouble towards the Terran player. Very, very well done so far. Very well done so far, and now I think that DarKFoRcE has a huge lead in this game, but he might still lose. He has to be very, very careful. He's not allowed to do another mistake as on Shakura's Plateau, where he moved those Baelings into the tanks. That would be his downfall, but Tarson has a lot of tanks right now. His army consists of 6 of them, 24 Marines as well, while DarKFoRcE has 28 Zerglings. He's on 7 Mutalisks, 3 Baelings, morphing additional Baelings, getting additional Mutalisks, spreading his creep. Look at that creep spread. I mean, this is amazing. He has nearly a complete creep highway and up to the main base of his opponent. And is Tarson now moving out? It seems so. Tarson is moving out. DarKFoRcE knows it and is trying to pick off the Hellions. He's not able to do that, but additional 14 Baelings are being morphed. And now, probably... yeah, Tarson has either to move forward really, really slowly, or he will fight on creep. And DarKFoRcE has to be patient now. He's on 142 supply against 133. 58 army supply against 68, producing an additional 14 Baelings, 13 Baelings. We have Zerglings as well. He's on 3 bases. Tarson expanding now once again. And here comes the army of Tarson. But he has to be careful. He has to be careful. One moment without paying attention to his army, without paying attention to his Marines, and he will lose this game. This is really, really tense right now. Another 36 Zerglings being built. Tarson is in a lot of trouble if he doesn't manage to get into position with those tanks. And here come the Baelings and the Mutalisks and the Marines! The Marines are being killed now. He's actually what a beautiful spread. A beautiful spread by Tarson. But he's losing, he is losing his tanks, and now he stims one time too often, is losing the Marines to the Mutalisks as well. They didn't have any hit points left due to those stims, and DarKFoRcE is picking them off, annihilating the anti-air units of his opponent, and now killing the rest of the army with the Mutalisk. He's on 126 supply, 1,800 minerals left, and he has 700 gas as well. While Tarson is still on 110, trying to get access to the 3rd expansion, to that base right over there at the bottom right. And in the meantime, we have DarKFoRcE with another lava inject. Come on, buddy, make me happy. And damn it. Okay, so yeah, well, he missed 1. Doesn't matter. But does it have to be the one that I was trying to see? Ah, here we go. A little bit delayed. A little bit late. He was just dancing in his room because he won the last fight. That's about it. Yeah, he's trying to put some pressure on the Terran now. And he's on 157 supply. He's getting the +1 armor upgrade. He should get additional upgrades as well, especially for his Mutalisks. And, well, more upgrades for the Terran player as well. He didn't win the game just yet. Don't get too cheery about that. But the Mutalisk, and there are 18 of them, moving in. Oh, he could have killed those. He could have killed those. And not too many anti-air units. He didn't know about that though. And look at that creep spread. This is beautiful. This is just beautiful. Half the map is owned by DarKFoRcE, and he's going to get a hatchery at the gold minerals. He's going to get another one, a fifth base, a fifth hatchery at the top, and once again trying to attack, but he needs to be careful. He took a lot of damage, a lot of hits by those Marines and the missile turret, getting the +2 attack upgrade right now, and he's still on 2,000 minerals. He's on 182 supply. As you can see, the Zerglings and Banelings are on 2 attack upgrades, and he's just rolling all over the map. We have additional queens being produced, 12 additional drones coming up. Spine crawlers as well. DarKFoRcE wants to win this game, and it seems like Mr. Combat is going to do it again. He might be able, he will be able, he should be able to force that 5th game against Tarson. Now picking off missile turrets, and he's just moving in, killing SCVs as well. How many Mutalisks do we actually have on the field? 21 of them. And here comes Tarson. Tarson with a scan, killing the creep tumors once again. 1 attack upgrade and 1 armor upgrade on those Marines. And here comes DarKFoRcE, and the siege tanks are not in position just yet. And most of the Marines die to the army of DarKFoRcE, and he's getting additional units, and he missed all those. Well, those Banelings were just morphing, but he was able to attack the Terran player without Tarson being sieged up, so very well done. And now 32 additional Zerglings. Here are the Banelings. We have the +2 armor upgrade, infestation bit coming as well. Army supply 82 against 94, and here comes the Zerg player attacking once again. The Banelings! The Banelings kill the Marines, take them out. All the tanks are long gone. There are a few Marines left, but DarKFoRcE is just retreating, picking them off one by one, waiting for the Zerglings, and thanks to his beautiful armor management, he's able to take out those Marines as well. Not just yet, but as soon as the Zerglings will join him. Oh, he actually needs to engage. He actually needs... Oh, woo, baby! All those Banelings having a feast. And the Medivacs being killed as well. Oh my god, sweet Jesus. But still, there are tons of Marines. Tons of Marines for DarKFoRcE. This game is not over just yet. Actually, the Zerg player lost a lot more resources than Tarson did, and is now trying to drop his opponent. DarKFoRcE needs to stabilize. The Marines are on 2-2 upgrades already, and here is that army of Tarson once again. This game is not over just yet. And this is actually quite tense, as DarKFoRcE is now getting pressured very, very hard by the Terran player. Needs to be careful. And here come the Banelings, the Mutalisks as well. The Medivac is gone. So are the Marines. In the meantime, DarKFoRcE needs to be aware of this push by Tarson. Tarson trying to get into position, but retreating now. That army would have been too fiercely scanned, that army, and was retreating. That would have been a death trap. Moving up there to get position onto the hatchery would have been his downfall for sure. But still, Tarson needs another base, and he knows about it. He's getting that command center into position, wants to place it at the gold mineral fields, at the rich mineral fields, and Tarson is on 176 supply, 200 for the Zerg player, 2,600 minerals. DarKFoRcE needs to get aggressive now. He needs to get aggressive. He has Pathon Glance on its way, but the Terran player with a +3 attack upgrade, +3 armor upgrade, and the +3 attack upgrade for his tanks as well. Hive Tech, the Hive Tech for the Zerg player, but still, I don't think that he should wait that long, because with that additional base, Tarson isn't looking all too bad. He's actually looking pretty good, getting a lot of upgrades, but now the Nidus network, ooh, yes, this is looking good. 1, 2, 3 Medivacs. Killing all of them, yes! Retreating, getting all the Marines. The Zerglings having a very, very nice and delicious dinner. And now, with the Hive Tech being finished, DarKFoRcE is getting mass upgrades. Neural Parasite, +3 attack, and Adrenal Glands. Woohoo! More Spine Crawlers, Greater Spire, and the Nidus network. There it is, and it won't be ready in time, but the Mutalisks might be able. Yes, the Mutalisks get in there. try to kill the Marines as well. Is he placing down a second one maybe over here? But no, yes, he does, but there's one tank in position, and now the Terran player is just moving in. Here comes DarKFoRcE. Don't waste the Terran. No, not again. Not again. But he's able to kill the tanks. There are enough Banelings left, enough Zerglings to kill the ground forces. The medivacs die as well. Tarson is down to 130 supply, reinforcing his army with additional Marines, but still 102 Zerglings being produced. Woo-ha! And another Nidus Worm. And we have the siege tank. Just DarKFoRcE is annoying him so much right now. With Nidus Worms, with Banelings, with his Mutalisks, picking off that tank and just kill the damn missile turret. Get additional Mutalisks. Get upgrades, my friend. Kill it. Yes, here we go. He kills the missile turret and another Nidus network is being produced. The Marines are being killed as well. And if that Nidus Worm is finished, then there will be too many units, and he's attacking exactly because of that losing Mutalisk. But the Nidus network is done. Here come the Zerglings, +3 halfway done. We have the Infestors. This should be game. This should be game. Tarson is being overrun by the Zerg. His main base is being attacked, but DarKFoRcE stopped the attack. He stopped the attack, was able to deal enough damage to the Terran player. He should have killed that armory though. That armory would have been really important, so he isn't able to get any Thors. And another Nidus network, and Tarson sees it, but is he able to kill it in time? He won't. He won't, and this expansion is going to die. Here we go, here we go. All those SCVs are dying to the forces of the Swarm. Kerrigan would once again be proud of DarKFoRcE. Here come all those Zerglings. The Nidus Worm is dead, but still the damage has been done. And now Tarson is just trying to get his army together once again, but he's on 81 worker against 72, 91 army supply, and DarKFoRcE is using the time very well. He's getting Broodlords now. The Greater Spire has been finished, the +3 attack upgrade being researched, another base being built. He wasn't able to deal too much damage to the economy of Tarson. He was still able to pick off a lot of workers, 17 in total, but the main purpose of those attacks was to delay the next attack of Tarson, just to pin the Terran player into his main base, get all those units that he actually needs. And there's another Nidus network, another one is coming up, another armor upgrade for the ground units as well. More Broodlords are being morphed, Corruptors being built. Here are the Zerglings. And now DarKFoRcE is basically just toying with his opponent, but he shouldn't be too overconfident because the Terran player is still on 174 supply. He shouldn't forget about that, but still he has everything he needs. He has upgrades, he has Infestors, Broodlords, Zerglings, Banelings, 1,600 minerals, 700 gas. He's getting more upgrades as we speak, getting creep tumors and placing additional Nidus networks into the main base of his opponent, forcing him all the time to retreat into his main base. And there come now. There's actually nothing. That's the attack. On the contrary, that's the attack of Tarson, the drop by the Terran player. And I think he's probably going to lose all those units. Here come the Zerglings. The Mutalisks should join them. And there they are. And the Banelings, yes, the Banelings kill them off. The Mutalisks clean it up. In the meantime, the Broodlords are in position against the production buildings. There are 6 Vikings. That's not enough to deal with the Mutalisks. They will be in position right about now. There are Corruptors as well. And I'm really, really curious how Tarson plans to deal with that attack. More Infestors being built, 5 of them. This game has been going on for far too long, if you ask me, because DarKFoRcE, you really should try to end it right now. Right now he's just trying to prevent Tarson from getting another base. He's playing it safe, I like it, but he's playing it a little bit too safe because Tarson will run out of minerals eventually. He's on 200 minerals right now. Those are the last patches that he actually can harvest with those SCVs. As you can see, the rich mineral fields are about to be depleted, and all those SCVs won't do him any good. An additional Nidus network being placed down, attacked by the SCVs, and yeah, DarKFoRcE is just waiting. He's getting the armor upgrades. He's just waiting. He's on 200 minerals, and he doesn't have too much income himself, to be honest. He only has those 2 bases. He needed to rebuild this one because Tarson was able to take it out. And let's have a look at the... Yeah, both players are on 200 supply once again. 124 supply against 128. The army composition is a lot better for DarKFoRcE though. It's a lot better for DarKFoRcE. He still needs to be careful. He should get additional bases. And here's the army of the Zerg player, and now moving in. The Marines are killing the Overlord, so the expansion will be available soon. And DarKFoRcE, he can't allow him to get that base. He simply can't allow him to get that base. All those Broodlords are now attacking the planetary fortress. He probably shouldn't waste his energy on the planetary fortress, but instead just attack those tanks over there. And here are the Vikings, the Vikes being picked off one by one. The Marines are attacking, and the Broodlords, the planetary fortress, well, it's still alive, but it will die very, very soon. Here it goes. The planetary fortress is down, and now the Broodlords are moving in, killing the SCVs and attacking the siege tanks. And the army supply of the Terran player is dwindling. Beautiful EMPs against Infestors, but it didn't get all of them. There are Thors as well, and DarKFoRcE is on the 1,000 gas and 1,000 minerals. He's attacking once again. Another fungal hits the Vikings, and here we go. The anti-air is basically done. Another stim by the Terran player. All those Marines are dead meat. He's dropping below 150 supply. The Broodlords attacking the siege tanks, and all of them are just dying. There's no anti-air left. Whatsoever. 2 lonely Vikings are taking on the Corruptors, but that's a one shot for that army. And the Broodlords, and well, the Fungus. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yes, I love it. I like it. The Zerg player is taking the 4th game. We will see a 5th game. Mr. Comeback is back in action. It's the 5th map of the 4th King of the Hill of StarCraft World IT and CM Storm. €100 await the winner of this game, and he will play next Thursday at 9:30 p.m. once again. Will it be Tarson? Will it be DarKFoRcE? We don't know, but what we know is that this King of the Hill series is awesome. All of the games so far ended up being played on 5 maps. And once again, we have the final map, we have the 5th map. It's Crossfire. And Crossfire is a horrible map if you're a Zerg player. And if you're a Terran player playing with tanks and you get into a good position on one of those cliffs, then you are going to love it. But still, DarKFoRcE played very solid on the last 2 maps that is, and he might be on a run once again. DarKFoRcE, Mr. Comeback, striking again. That's the big question, and Tarson will probably have an answer to that in a few minutes. And he also mentioned in the lobby that he told DarKFoRcE before that he doesn't want him to come back at all. But DarKFoRcE has other plans for this game, and Tarson with a barracks, SCV as well. So let's have a look into the base of Tarson, and especially the gas. Yes, refinery here once again, so no expansion, no early expansion for Tarson, at least no mineral only expansion. But on that map it's a little bit harder to defend. Well, actually it isn't. It's alright, you could do it. But we have another base for DarKFoRcE. He's going for the 15 hatch once again, while Tarson is getting that barracks. Let's see if he's going for Hellions again, if he's playing with Reapers, if he's going straight for the tanks. We'll see that in a second. First of all, the orbital command is being upgraded. We have DarKFoRcE placing down his hatchery, as I already mentioned. The spawning pool as well. Here comes the extractor. We are on 15 supply for both players, and the average actions per minute are on 280 for Tarson and 140 for DarKFoRcE. So basically the Terran players double the actions that the Zerg player has so far. We have a Reaper once again. The tech lab was just completed, and the Reaper is going to scout and try to pick off Zerglings and the drones, of course. In the meantime, the main base, there are more SCVs being built, no second guys just yet. And there's a... no, there's a first Reaper, sorry. Thought he just tried to get a second Reaper. And we have the Queen. Spawning pool is ready. Queen is on its way. The second one as well as the expansion finishes. And Tarson is trying to bunker rush him. And that bunker has a beautiful placement, but the Zerglings are spotting. The Zerglings are spotting the SCV, and will the SCV die? The Reaper is on its way, but the bunker is being killed. And the Reaper killing the first Zergling, killing another one, not just yet. We have the expansion for Tarson getting his command center, and wants to place a factory down at his wall in. So far, DarKFoRcE in a good position. The Reaper is nearly dead. Won't be able to do any damage at all, just might be able to annoy DarKFoRcE a little bit, but speed is on its way, and as soon as speed is done, the Reaper won't pose a threat anymore. We have a second gas being built for the Terran. Let's have a look at the 22 SCVs, 20 to 23 drones, and the Reaper is just scouting a little bit, having a look at what's happening on the map. DarKFoRcE with the second Queen spreading his creep. The Reaper actually scouted that expansion at the bottom right, and I like that a lot because some of you might have seen the one of the last cups I shoutcasted, and Stefano was able to sneak in an expansion against his opponent that won him the game. So even though it's not played very often, you need to check for those hidden expansions in order to be able to defend against, because if you lose a fifth game because you didn't scout that hidden expo, you will probably be really mad later on. And so that's why I really like the scout of the Reaper at the expansion at the bottom right. The Reaper is still alive. The Zerglings miss him, which is obviously very annoying. And another staring match. Oh, the Overlord showing the Marine his ass, and the Marine turning away because it's too disgusting. The expansion is ready, orbital command, and we have additional barracks being built and a third command center. We've seen Tarson do that before. He uses the energy of the third command center mostly for mules until he's ready to actually defend the third base. And then he lands it at the right position. 53 supply against 38. 40, 50 supply workers against 30, and the army supply is about to be even as well. So DarKFoRcE has a really good economy right now. He has a really good economy, is spreading his creep like crazy, as you can see. He has active creep tumors already in position. The third Queen is taking care of the creep spread now. And Tarson just landed his second base, and he is behind in supply. He's behind in economy. He's researching stim, and he's in a really defensive spot right now. He's in a really defensive spot, and DarKFoRcE is able to do whatever he wants. So far, there's a lot of energy for the Terran player on his orbitals, so those mules will do quite a number on the mineral count. Here are additional ones. The tanks in position, killing the Scoutling. We have a starport, double refinery being taken. The Baneling nest built for DarKFoRcE, going for additional Zerglings, +1 attack upgrade, and Borrow this time. He's getting Borrow as well, and once again, of course, the Spire for DarKFoRcE. DarKFoRcE getting a Spire, and the Zerglings are... Is he trying to get in there, put some early pressure on his opponent with Banelings and Zerglings? That actually looks like it. The Baneling nest is being done, and we have a lot of additional Zerglings being produced. We are on 46 drones against 40 SCVs. Here come the Zerglings, just scouting a little bit, having a look on the map, and here's one Zergling attacking the destructible rocks maybe. Let's have a look. Zergling speed, Baneling speed. The Spire +1, and DarKFoRcE in position with his Zerglings. 48 of them. 48 of them, another 10 being built. It's going to be 60 Zerglings. We have Borrow nearly done, and he's probably going to borrow some Banelings. This would be really nice on a map like that, because there are a lot of choke points where the army has to The Terran army has to move. So this might prove to be quite interesting, because if Tarson doesn't scout, then he will lose those, and he will lose the Reaper, and he will lose those units. Another Viking trying to kill that Overlord. Will the Queen be able to save it? No, there's not enough energy for a transfuse, and the Overlord is going to die. DarKFoRcE will be supply blocked. He's on 100 supply right now. Tarson is ready with those tanks. He's trying to get upgrades, of course. He's getting the combat shield already. Stim is ready. Siege tanks are there as well. Additional factories. He needs more factories in order... He has a good income, so he needs additional factories in order to get rid of all those resources. And the Orbital Command is still in position. He cannot lift it over to the next... Oh, well, he could actually try to get it into position at this expansion. But every other base is scouted by DarKFoRcE. There's either an Overlord or a Zergling, and there are units everywhere that are just, yes, and borrowed Banelings all over the map. Let's have another look. Is he going to borrow them at the choke points? Where are the borrowed Banelings? There's one Zergling, could borrow that as well. The Mutalisk on the way, and once again Tarson is ready with the missile turrets. He knows about the timings. Have a look at the clock. 12 minutes, so after 11:30, at 11:30 Tarson is going to start building turrets. That's what he did every single game, and it proved out to be so important for him, because he was ready every single time that DarKFoRcE started to attack. And he's scouting, he's scanning those ramps, and he's able to kill 4 of the Banelings, wasting 1 scan for that. And he needs to waste a lot of scans now. He needs to waste a lot of scans now, but as I already told you in the early stages, there are so many choke points where the tanks are really, really effective. So this is annoying. And another scan, but he didn't see those 2 Banelings. And there are 2 additional tanks, 1 Zergling, more units being produced for DarKFoRcE. It's the last game. It's the 5th game of the StarCraft World IT King of the Hill. CM Storms powers this event. The winner will take €100 and fight next week on Thursday as well. And here is DarKFoRcE streaming in the Zerglings in position. What about the Banelings? He lost the Banelings to the tanks, but he's able to pick off the tanks as well. Needs to retreat now. The Terran player with 112 supply though, and the Banelings detonating, maybe now picking off the Marines. He could attack them. They don't have too much hit points, but he does. How many units does he have? 10 Mutalisks, 22 Zerglings. DarKFoRcE with a little bit of trouble. He's on 3 bases though. He's on 3 bases, but there's 1 drop towards his expansion. And now the Terran player is moving in, picking up the Queen. The Zerglings are streaming in, but will he be able to take out the Marines? He needs to kill the Marines. Kill the Marines. Attack the Marines. Focus them, for Christ's sake. Stop running around like crazy. And he's killing the tanks as well. But Tarson, awesome as he is attacking, is dropping the 3rd base, and it probably will die. Oh, those 2 medivacs are just chilling over there. While now the expansion is down, the drop is dead as well, but still very well done by Tarson. He's on 120 supply against 95. It looks like DarKFoRcE finally found his master. He met his master, he met his maker, is going to meet his maker, as we have DarKFoRcE with the last surviving units trying to pick off the tanks. 2 tanks are down, a lot of Mutalisks as well though, and more Zerglings being produced. That hatchery is going to die, and DarKFoRcE has to GG. He's losing the 4th King of the Hill. Tarson is the new champion, the new King of the Hill of StarCraft World IT and CM Storm. Very well done by Tarson. Very well played. After leading with 2-0, he lost the following 2 games, but on the 5th map, he pulls through once again, defeats DarKFoRcE. The German powerhouse is down, and now the Polish player will play on next Thursday's game. Very well done. Congratulations to Tarson. Very well played. A nice series, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the show and will tune in next Thursday.